Okay? So, tutuloy na natin yung end of the chapter exercises. So, this is problem number 32-1. Punta ka lang sandali doon. 32-1. I-ano natin, I'm going to flash this to you para may meron tayong scratch paper, ang ating whiteboard. So, ang rito, 32-1, nandyan ka na ba? Type 1 kung nandyan ka na, type 2 kung wala pa. Nandyan ka na ba? 1 kung nandyan ka na, type 2 kung ano. Okay, so type 1 kung tuloy na natin. Okay, so good. So ito, ang requirement dito, ang tanong is, what amount should be included as an impairment loss in the statement of comprehensive income for the year ended December 31, 2020. So nakita mo itong itong particular na chapter na to. Meron siyang kumbaga konektado siya sa impairment loss, no? It's all about the evaluation of the impairment loss. So na-take up na natin to, di ba? Pero sige, gawin natin. Dana Company accounted for non-current assets using the cost model. On October 1, 2020, the entity classified a non-current asset as held for sale. At that date, the carrying amount was 3.2 million. The fair value estimated at 2.2 million and the cost of disposal at 200,000. Okay, so i-consider natin yan, no? On December 15, 2020, the asset was sold for the net proceeds of 1.8 million. 1,850,000. So ang tanong dito is magkano raw yung impairment loss for December 31, 2020. Yan. So lagay lang natin dito, no? So this is 32-1. Okay? So ang natin dito, kunin natin yung carrying amount, no? So yung carrying amount niya is carrying amount is 3.2 million, no? Given yun. Okay. And then yung fair value less cost of disposal is how much? Okay, now nakalagay diyan it's di ba 2.2 million, no? So 2.2 million less 200K. Okay? Ayan. So lalagay lang natin dito, that's 2 million. Okay? So ilagi in-emphasize natin, fair value less cost of disposal. So magkano yun? Magkano yung balance nun? Okay, impairment loss. Impairment loss is how much? This would be 1.2 million. Yan. Okay? Yan yung impairment loss. So, ano yung sagot niya? Baka mag-compute ka pa ng yan lang naman ang tinatanong. So, letter, boy. Okay? Pero kung tinatanong na rin yung sige, sagutan na rin natin yung loss on disposal, no? Para naman, kasi total, naman yung pinag-uusapan natin, yung ang tawag dito, yung itong held for sale, no? So sagutan na rin natin just for the sake of So sale price, magkano yung sale price niya? Okay? The selling price is 1.8 million, 1,850,000. Okay, so 1,850,000. Now, magkano yung niya, yung carrying amount niya? Carrying amount, no, as of December 31, 2020. Okay, magkano po yun? This is, yun, yung nakuha natin, 2 million, di ba? Ito na yung bago niyang carrying amount, 2 million. So, magkano yung impairment loss? So, this is yung loss on disposal, I should say. Yung loss on disposal. Okay, so yung difference niyan, which is 150,000, so negative, no? Okay, so this is 150,000. Okay. Ayan. So, inuha lang natin yan. Okay, so type 1 kung may question, type 1 kung may question. or you can just speak. Okay, so 32-2. 32-2. Ano tayo? Ang tinatanong dito is what amount should be reported as impairment loss, okay, for 2020. Okay? And then what amount should be reported as loss on disposal? Ayan. Okay, so dalawa na, no? Parang ganun din kagaya sa taas yung tanong. Okay, so Arlene Company accounted for non-current asset using the cost model. On October 30, 2020, the entity classified the non-current asset as held for sale. At that date, the carrying amount was 1.5 million. The fair value was estimated at 1.1 million. And the cost of disposal is 150,000. So ibabawas natin yan, no? On November 20, 2020, the asset was sold for the net proceeds of 800,000. So madali lang yan. Ikaw, kaya mong gawin yan. Sige nga, gawin mo 2 minutes lang. 2 minutes lang. Gawin mo lang pattern yung sa taas. Kahit yung number 1 lang. Okay, sagutan natin na. Sige. So, madali lang yan. Kung ulit yung, yung the same template or format, no? So, carrying amount. Okay, so magkano po yung carrying amount niya? That is nasa 1.5 million. No? So, lagay mo lang dyan, 1.5 million. Okay? Tapos yung FB, fair value less cost of disposal. Okay, so magkano po yun? So that is 1.1 million. Okay, less yung, ano ba yung ililess natin dyan? Yung 150K, no? So magkano po ito? So 950,000, no? Okay, so this would be 950,000. Okay, so ang impairment loss po natin dito is magkano po? Lagay ko na, sagutan mo yan. No? So magkano? It's 550,000. Okay, nakuha ba? Type 1 kung nakuha mo, type 2 kung explain pa natin. Ayan. Okay. So let's move forward dun sa next one. This is number 1, no? Number 1 to. Number 1. And this is number 2. So number 2, ganun rin, no? Same lang rin yung format nung nasa taas. So kunin natin yung sale price. Magkano po yung sale price niya? Ang sabi dyan, naibenta po ng 800,000, no? Okay, 800,000. Lagay mo lang dyan, 800,000. So, magkano po yung kanyang carrying amount, no? Yung new carrying amount niya. Okay? So, ang carrying amount niya as of November, nung binenta kasi nung yan, November 20, no? November 20, 2020, kailan magkano po 'yon? Yung kanyang carrying amount, no? it's 950 yung nakuha natin sa taas, no? Yun yung bago, 950. Yan. Okay, so magkano po yung impairment loss? Yung loss on disposal, so this is 50K, no? Okay, so ano yung letter dito? 800,000, 150 pala. Okay, 150. Yeah, 150. So 150 loss on disposal. Okay. Now, ano yung sagot dyan? This is letter C. Dito naman sa taas, it's letter A. So this one is letter A, and this one is letter C. Yan. Okay. So next yung isa naman, no? Yung 32-3. Marami-rami to. Tapusin na natin to, no? 32-3. Yan. So kunin natin, no? Okay. So what is the carrying amount of the equipment on December 31, 2020 before classification as held for sale? Yan. So Affable Company purchased an equipment for 5 million on January 1, 2020. The equipment had a useful life of 5 years with no residual value. Okay. On December 31, 2020, the entity classified the equipment as held for sale. On such date, the fair value less cost of disposal of the equipment was 3.5 million. On December 31, 2021, the entity believed that the criteria for classification as held for sale can no longer be met. Accordingly, the entity decided not to sell the equipment but to continue to use it. Yan. So, kumbaga ni-reclassify ulit dun sa equipment, no, from yung dating held for sale ginawang equipment. So, on December 31, 2020, the fair value less cost of disposal of the equipment was 2.7 million. So, kumpleto itong problem na to, no? Comprehensive siya. Okay, so this is 32-3. Okay, so ang tanong dito, what is the carrying amount of the equipment on December 31 before classification as held for sale? Magkano raw yan? So, nalagay natin dito, no? So, number 1, 5 million, di ba? Okay, 5 million siya yung cost niya. Cost on January 1, 20. Magkano po yun? So, nakalagay doon 5M, no? Tinatanong by December 31, so after 1 year. So, kukunin mo muna yung depreciation niya. 5 years, di ba? So, divided mo by 5 years, no? So, depreciation, no? Okay, so, kunin mo muna yung depreciation niya. Okay, which is 5 million divided by 5 years. Wala namang residual value, so this would be 1 million. Okay, 1M. So, kung magkano lang, so bali ang magiging yung cost niya, no? So, magiging yung carrying amount niya, no? Carrying amount on December 31, 2020 would be 4 million. Kasi, yun, 5 million less 1 million. Okay? So, that would be letter B. Nakuha ba? Okay, so next, number 2. Number 2, what amount of impairment loss should be recognized in 2020? Ayan. So, kunin natin yung cost, no? Okay, yung cost. On January 1, 2020. Okay, so magkano yung cost niya? This is 5 million. Okay? Yun yan. And then after that, ano yung kukunin natin? So cost less ACU, no? Accumulated depreciation. So magkano yan? So this is for 1 year. So this is 1 million. Yung na-compute rin natin kanina. And so 1 million. Okay, so therefore, ang kanyang carrying amount niya before classification to held for sale, okay, on December 31, 2020. Okay, so this is for magkano yun? This 4 million, no? 4 million. Yan. So after that, yung fair value less cost of disposal. So i-ano lang natin, i-less natin yung fair value less cost of disposal. Okay? Kasi nung ano lang naman ito, no? Okay. Fair value less cost of disposal is ang kalagay dyan is 3.5 million. Okay? 3.5 million. So kunin lang natin yung difference nitong dalawa, itong 4 million saka itong 3.5 million. So ano yung magiging ano niya, yung pinaka impairment loss niya? Okay, so ito, no? Impairment loss, no? Kagaya ng kinumpute natin yung same procedure yung kanina, no? On for 2020 is 1.5 million. Okay? So yan. So, 1.5 million. Impairment loss yan. Oh, 500,000. Kala natin ito para yan. So niless lang natin yung impairment loss. Okay? Next, so anong ano yan? Anong letter yan? Letter C. Letter C. So next is yung ano, ang tanong sa pangatlo is what amount should be recognized as gain or loss in 2020 as a result of the reclassification of the equipment to property, plant, and equipment. So magre-recognize tayo nung ni-reclassify na. Okay? Nung 2021. So kunin lang natin ulit yung ano yung cost niya. Okay? Yung pinaka carrying amount niya. Magkano yung carrying amount of the asset? It's 3 million. Okay, bakit 3 million? Kasi 'di ba? Ito yung book value, yung ano niya, yung depreciation niya is 1 million per year. So 2 million yung depreciation, total depreciation niya. So 5 million less 2 million it's 3 million. Okay? So yun yung carrying amount niya. So ano siya, kumbaga it's not classified as held for sale. No? So after getting that, magkano yung fair value? Ikumpara natin yung fair value. Ito yung fair value. Okay? Less cost of disposal. Nakikita natin. Okay, so fair value less cost of disposal is 2.7. Okay. $2,700,000. Okay, now magkano yung carrying amount per book? No? Carrying amount per book. Carrying amount per book or yung recoverable value, no? Okay. So magkano to? 'Di ba na-compute natin kanina 3.5 million? Kasi yun na yung ano, ito yun, no? Okay. So yun yun, no? Yun, no? Yan. So carrying amount per book is 3.5 million. Okay, yan. Yan, okay? And then yung measurement of equipment, no? Measurement of equipment. Measurement of equipment. Nasaan yun? Magkano yun? Nakalagay doon, it's 2.7 million. On December 31, the fair value less cost of disposal is 2.7 million. Okay, so 2.7 million. So lagay natin dito, 2.7 million. Okay, so magkano yun? Ito yung, yung loss on reclassification, no? Okay, it's 300,000, yung difference ng dalawa. So, loss on reclassification, which is 800,000. Okay, so that would be letter B. Okay. Number four, what is the adjusted carrying amount of the equipment? So, yung adjusted carrying amount niya, no? So, gagamitin natin yung measurement of the equipment, no? Measurement of the equipment. Okay, so on December 31, 2021. Yan. So magkano yun? That is 2.7 million. Nasa taas, no? Okay, so and then yung depreciation niya, depreciation. So the depreciation for 2022, okay, kasi ang tanong naman dyan is 2022. Okay, so yung remaining life niya, no? That's 2.7 yung nasa taas, 2.7 M divided by ilang years siya. So 3 years remaining. Okay? Kasi 5 years di ba useful life niya? So 2 years na yung nakatapos, so 3 years na lang. Okay, so 3 years. So this would be, kita mo. Ayan, so 2.7 divided by, so that's 900,000. 900,000. So, ayan. So, pinaka niya, yung pinaka carrying amount niya, carrying amount on December 31, 2022 is 1.8 million, 1,800,000. So that is letter B. Okay, letter B. So may question ba so far? Any questions? So we can proceed. Type 1 if you have any more questions, no? So ito lang yun. So we can now proceed dun sa 32 dash 4. Okay? Ayan, yung multiple choice. Sagutan natin So, number 1. Bigay ko na lang kaya yung sagot dito sa inyo. Okay. So, number 1, it is a group of assets to be disposed as a single sale or otherwise together as a group in single transaction, and liabilities directly associated with those assets that will be transferred in the transaction. So the answer there is letter A, disposal group. Letter number 2 is the entity shall classify an non-current asset or disposal group as held for sale when the carrying amount of the asset or disposal group is recovered through a sale transaction. When the carrying amount of the asset or disposal group is recovered through continuing use. So, tamang sagot dyan is letter A, through a sale transaction. Okay? Held for sale nga Okay? Hindi siya abandoned, hindi siya continuing use, hindi siya retired. Through a sale kasi nga held for sale. Okay, number 3 is dog. For the sale of a non-current asset to be highly probable, which is of the following statement is incorrect. So letter A, management must have committed to a plan to sell. That's highly probable, no? An active program, okay, to locate a buyer. The asset must be actively marketed for sale at a reasonable price. So pare-pareho yung tatlo na yun, that those are the prerequisites para highly probable, no? The sale is expected to qualify for recognition as a completed sale within 2 years. Hindi na yan. So the answer there is dog. That is the incorrect one. Okay, which is the correct answer para dito. Okay, so number 4 is C. An entity shall measure a non-current asset or disposal group classified as held for sale at lower of carrying amount and the fair value less cost of disposal. Yan. The lower. Okay. Okay, number 5 is letter A. So non-current asset classified as held for sale shall be presented as current asset. If the fair value less cost of disposal is lower than the carrying amount of a non-current asset classified as held for sale, the difference is BOI, accounted for as impairment loss. What is the treatment of any gain of a subsequent increase in the fair value less cost of disposal of a non-current asset classified as held for sale? So nag-increase raw yung value, nag-gain. So the gain shall be recognized but not in excess of the cumulative impairment loss previously recognized. So C. The non-current asset that is to be abandoned shall not be classified as held for sale because the carrying amount is recovered principally through continuing use. A. And number 9, that's how should the assets and liabilities of a disposal group shall be classified as held for sale be reported in the statement of financial position. The asset of the disposal group shall be reported separately yon under the current asset and liabilities of the disposal group. Ito sinabi natin kanina, no? Okay, should be reported under current liabilities. So B. And the last, an entity classified as a non-current asset accounted for under the cost model as held for sale at the current year end. Because no offers were received at the acceptable price, the entity decided at the end of the year, next year, not to sell the asset but to continue to use it. So the asset shall be measured at the end of next year at what amount? The lower of carrying amount and the recoverable amount, the higher of carrying amount and the recoverable amount, the lower of carrying amount on the basis that the asset had never been classified as held for sale and recoverable amount, the higher of carrying amount on the basis that the assets had never been classified as held for sale. So the best choice there is letter C. The lower of carrying amount on the basis that the asset had never been classified as held for sale and recoverable amount. So ito yung ginagawa natin sa application kanina. Okay? So letter C, number 10. Yan. So natapos na rin natin yung ano na yun, no? Yung chapter na yun, no? Okay. Now, siguro as additional yung maiksi lang naman yung chapter 33. Pakibasa mo na rin, no? Isama mo na rin. So, I expect you to read yung chapter 33, tapos watch the video on maiksi lang naman kasi ito eh, mga 2-3 pages lang, no? Itong chapter 33, madali lang ito. Okay? Ano lang to. And then, watch the video on yung exploration, no? And yun, yung sa mineral resources, no? Okay, which is ano bang ano yun? Ano bang chapter yun? Exploration and evaluation of mineral resources, that's chapter 34. And yung leases, no? Okay, so yung mga leases, ano mo na lang, no? Panuurin mo rin. Okay, meron akong ginawang ano doon. Meron akong ginawang video doon. yung part 1 and part 2 ng leases. Yung isa is wala dito sa libro mo yun, yung leases, no? Pero kasama yun sa syllabus. Okay? Parang hinahanap ko yung leases dito. Meron yan actually. Parang nakita ko rin dito eh. Okay? So, pero hindi mo na kailangan basahin yung sa libro kasi meron na akong discussion dun sa video. So, yun, kahit yun na lang panuurin mo. Okay? So, ayun, yung chapter 39 pala siya, yung leases. No? Okay. Pero pwede mo na lang, panuuri mo na lang yung sa video kasi kompleto rin naman yan. Okay, nandun yung discussion and mga examples. So, yun yung assignment mo. Kindly watch yung yung sa exploration, no? Okay, doon sa video, no? That's PFRS number 6 and yung leases PFRS number 16. Okay? And then basahin mo na rin yung chapter 33. Maiksi lang yung 3 pages lang naman yun, no? Okay. So bibigay ko yung sagot next meeting. So, may question pa ba tayo so far? If you have any questions, just kindly you can raise the question. Type 1 kung may question ka pa, type 2 kung wala na. Okay, so if you don't have any questions, so we can adjourn this meeting, no? Okay, so see you next week. Okay, so God bless and stay safe. See you.
Thank you po, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you po, sir.